I'm going to be going to show you guys how to integrate secant cubed. So first of all, we're going to write it, instead of secant cubed theta d theta, we're going to write it as secant squared theta times secant theta. And then from there, we're going to use integration by parts to write it as secant theta times tan theta minus the integral of tan squared theta times secant theta d theta. And we basically just said that the secant squared theta is going to be dv, the secant theta is going to be u, and we said it's u times v. This is the general integration by parts formula, that the integral of u dv is equal to u times v minus the integral of v du. We just use that formula. So u is secant, v is the antiderivative of secant squared, which is tangent, minus the integral of v, which is going to be tangent, times the derivative of secant, which is sectan. That's why I get tan squared times secant theta. Okay, so that gets us through the integration by parts. So now we're gonna use another trig identity to replace tan squared with 1 minus secant squared, I believe. So we know that 1 plus tan squared theta is equal to secant squared theta. So tan squared theta is equal to secant squared theta minus 1. So we can just replace that. It's equal to okay, and then we could just distribute that secant into it, and we get that this is equal to secant theta times tan theta minus the integral of secant cubed theta minus secant theta d theta. Okay, and let's split this up into two integrals, and when we're doing this, we got to remember that we have to subtract the whole integral, so things are going to change signs. So this expression is now equal to sec theta times tan theta minus the integral of secant cubed theta d theta. Okay, we're splitting this in another integral, so there's a minus here. This is now going to turn into a plus because it's like a double negative. So it becomes plus the integral of secant theta d theta. Okay, we're getting pretty close to solving this. So now we're just going to write this as, we're going to write the original expression in with the integral. And we know that secant cubed theta was the original integral, and that's equal to this. Sec theta tan theta minus the integral of secant cubed theta d theta plus, okay, the integral of secant theta is the natural log of the absolute value of secant theta plus tangent theta. And you should just know that integral. I can go through, make another video on how to evaluate that integral itself, but that's one you should just know. You should know that integral by now. Okay, so to solve this now, we just have to add secant cubed theta, the integral of secant cubed theta, to both sides. We get that 2 times the integral of secant cubed theta is equal to sec theta plus times tan theta plus the natural log of absolute value of secant theta plus tangent theta. And then you could just divide both sides by 2. Then you have your answer. Don't forget the constant integration. And that's how you integrate secant cubed.